All right, we'll get started with Coach Luper here. Coach Luper is, of course, our running backs coach, but also a U.S. Army veteran. Wanted to give y'all an opportunity to ask him about his time serving, also playing in the Armed Forces Bowl, and his connections here to Fort Worth are very strong with his 7 seasons at TCU. So if you've got a question for Coach Curtis Luper, please use the raise hand, and we'll start with Lauren Michelson.
Yeah, Coach, just kind of like what Molly said, what does it mean to you being a vet to be playing in this bowl game?
Yeah, it's when I found out we were playing Army, I was excited, very excited. We had just done a lot for Veterans Day, Veterans Weekend at Mizzou. So I'm a proud veteran, and I'm proud to be playing against Army.
Anything follow up, Lauren?
Yes. Can you talk about being a vet? Did you have any specific ways that kind of influenced your coaching style? I know the crossover between the two can be kind of talked about a lot.
I think maybe just the discipline. You know, the discipline that I learned in the military. I definitely use that, some of the tactics with my players, but probably, you know, chain of command, because in the military you respect the rank, not the person. So my players, you know, we let them know everyone has a boss. Here's a chain of command. So I think those are two of the things that I could use from my military experience in my coaching.
We'll go with Eric Blum.
Hey, Curtis, first off, when and where did you serve?
I was in from October of 1988 until November of 92. So that was a long time ago.
Was that Desert Storm? What was that?
It was during Desert Storm. I mean, I was in when the original Desert Storm started, but I didn't go. So I was in, I was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado. Initially, my training was all in Alabama. Basic training, air traffic control training was all in Alabama. Then I was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado for two plus years, and then my last year in Chuncheon in South Korea.
So you were never deployed?
No.
Okay. And then kind of getting back to a football sense, you're a little familiar with Fort Worth, if memory serves me right. So just what's it like? Does it feel weird to be back? Does it feel?
It's going to feel really weird to be on the visitor side of Amon Carter Stadium. And Brian knows what I'm talking about, because I've been on that home side for 7 years, you know, 50 football games or more. So that in itself will feel weird. I'll probably run out and run to the wrong sideline when I come down.
We'll go to Natalie Jones.
You know, on a little bit of a different note, I saw you out in St. Louis, the signing day celebrations. You know, obviously, what do you feel like a win in this bowl game would really do for the momentum that you guys have been on recently? You know, obviously making a bowl game, that big signing day. What would you think that would do for the momentum?
Well, we're all about momentum, because, you know, in college football and athletics in general, you use any momentum you can to build to the next phase. So the next phase for us will be the next signing period, which is the first Wednesday in February. So it's crucial for us. It's critical for us to use the momentum and keep building upon it. So you know, there's no one on our football team that has won a bowl game at Mizzou. So we've made that point. Coach Drink has made that point every single day since we've been preparing for the bowl game. So it's incumbent upon us to finish the season strong. Everyone wants to do that. I think there are like 40 plus bowl games, so there's going to be 40 plus bowl champions, and you know, our goal is to be one.
Go to Mitchell 40.
Hey, Curtis. Obviously, you know, Tyler has carried the load for much of this season. You know, as you use these bowl practices, you get a chance to have these bowl practices. How much have you been able to see from the younger guys, and how comfortable do you feel about the room once he's gone?
Well, the younger guys have gotten a lot of work, and that's a benefit of going to a bowl game, because you can get an additional, based on the game, an additional 10, 15 practices, you know, which you normally would not get. So I've seen a lot from my players, saw a lot from my players during the season and last in practice, and then obviously in fall. So that's 300 touches. almost 2,000 yards. That'll be that's tough to replace. So when Larry Roundtree left, we had 22 touches a game and 1,200 yards to replace, and Tyler Beatty did it. So someone will step up and do it. It may be by committee. We'll see. But we'll be excited for the challenge.
We'll go to Dave Matter.
Hey, Curtis, I don't think we've really talked to you in this capacity since the season started, but what has it been like to watch Tyler go through this year, really historic season? Was this anything close to what you thought he was capable of doing?
Well, if anyone tells you that we thought he was going to, have about 2,000 combined yards rushing and receiving, we'd be stretching the truth. It was a challenge. We challenged him. I challenged him. Look, Larry Roundtree, 22 touches a game. You can have them, but you go earn them and you take them. And people are saying you're too small. And I think he started the season with the chip on his shoulder because he had some questions to answer for people. Could he handle the load? Could he carry the load? Could he handle the pounding in the SEC? I think he answered those questions, and he's a joy to coach. Everyone knows he's already graduated with a 3.84 GPA. Just a joy to come into the room every single day. He's one of the ones that stayed and stuck it out. He could have transferred. He played his role. He got better every year, and when his time came, he answered the bell. So. It's been a joy to coach Tyler Beatty.
Lila Bromberg.
Hey, Curtis, just kind of, what have you shared with players on the team of what it means to play in this bowl, for you, but also just kind of the honor to, play in one of the Orange Bowls?
Well, they didn't know what type of commitment that the soldiers from the Army or have. They didn't know that they have a commitment afterwards. So it's like a 10-year commitment, 4 years of school and then a 6-year commission as an officer. So I explained that to him. So there's a great respect that I think they've established for the servicemen that will be playing this weekend. Or this week, I'm sorry.
And Brian Estridge.
That's a good friend of mine right there.
That's right. Coach Lupe, good to see your face, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to Fort Worth. Hey, a lot's been made about having to play an option attack like what Army puts out and how the strain that puts on a defense. But from an offensive perspective, they'll be a little undersized. They'll do things differently than what you see week in and week out in the SEC. Give me some sense of the problems they can create defensively too.
Well, the problem is just the entire way they play the game of football. So they make it where if you get behind, you start watching the clock because it goes fast. We played these teams before. So now we have to be aggressive and we have to get ahead early. And so if you get up on those guys by a couple of scores or get behind them by a couple of scores, the outcome could be dictated right there. So, we're going to be aggressive and try to get ahead. They put a lot of pressure on you because they do eat the clock and they do lead the nation in time of possession. So they put a lot of pressure on you.
Anything further for Coach Luper? Can use the raise hand function. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good to see you, Brian.
Please do.